Hey, what's going on, guys? Back here with another video for Norfolk Southern. So my last video I talked about conductor training on week 3 in McDonough, Georgia. So at this point you should be back at your home terminal. You should have a training coordinator that you have to report to. You should have a schedule as to what trains you're supposed to train on. And you should have all your radio, your lantern, and all that fun stuff that they give you down in McDonough for completing the course. So moving into the on-job training here, just a little experience as to what it was like for me. OJT, you really get familiar with phone numbers and numbers that you dial in on the radio on board the train to talk to whoever you need to talk to. So it's really just a big learning experience as far as, just taking all that little stuff in and just repeating it. Biggest advice I would say, biggest piece of advice I could give you is probably make sure you just write things down. Even if you have to verify it, go for it. But just writing stuff down, even simple things that you would think you would remember. There's a lot going on out there, so and it's all happening at once. So best piece of advice is just write everything down. But as far as OJT goes, my experience was I got back. I was, like I said, I was given a schedule. I was told to follow it. I got real familiar with the crew call desk that you have to call to place yourself on whatever job. I got familiar with getting on the mainframe horse screen, which is where you can put bids on jobs. You can put in, that's where you learn to put in your claims, all that stuff. And just getting real familiar with that, and just really figuring out how the railroad works. Some of these for the most part where I'm at, I got lucky. I've not really had any bad people training me, but there are those out there that probably shouldn't be training. So just try to do the best you can. If you have any questions, contact the local train master. Your training coordinator. Obviously don't call them at 2 or 3 in the morning unless it's absolutely necessary. But you'll have 2 evaluations. You'll have your first evaluation, which I think is in your first 30 days or so of on-job training, and that's just basically them seeing how much you know so far. Where you need improvement. Just do your best. You'll probably be a little nervous at first, which that goes for everybody. I know I was. Just do the best you can, and just put to the test what you know. You really got to make sure you're practicing talking on the radio, and make sure you're getting better with doing car counts on shove moves, and just building confidence to be a railroader is basically what it boils down to. But for the most part, on your first evaluation, they'll pretty much take in how much you know, what you need to improve on, and they'll tell you what to work from there, and when they'll want to schedule a final evaluation. Once the final evaluation happens, depending on how well you do, if you do well, you will officially be promoted to a conductor position at Norfolk Southern, which will be at a step rate as of right now. If anybody didn't explain what a step rate is on the railroad yet, it is basically a step rate as to what you get paid. So when you mark up as a conductor, you start out at a step rate of 80%. So that basically means you're getting paid 80% of what you could make on that particular job. The step rate will go up 5% per year. So over the next 5 years, you'll go from 80 to 100%. There's possible talks about them getting rid of the step rate and just bumping everybody up straight to 100, but I'm not completely sure yet. But as of right now, that's how things are looking. As always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as quickly and as best I can. Have a good day, guys.